Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first Fundamental Fridays of the Professional Triers. My name is David Peace. This is not my show. This is everybody's show. There's going to be a new series on the Professional Triers where people from the community are going to be able to contribute. And the idea behind Fundamental Fridays is to have very short videos between 5 and 15 minutes long that focus on a very specific subject for new people in the hobby. So people that are in their first year, second year, and it's just back to basics. So going over some concepts that are very simple, very easy, but very important as you build a foundation in the holiday lighting hobby. So today we're going to be discussing the very, very fun concept of patching two wires together or splicing two wires together. So what happens in the hobby, unfortunately, is pixels go bad. It happens. And every year you're probably going to have to do one or two repairs. That's very normal. And it comes to having to splice. And what that means is you cut out the bad pixel, and actually typically what you're going to want to do is cut out two pixels. So wherever the pixel went bad and off, you'll want to remove that one, and also the pixel before it, because you don't know if it's the pixel that is off or wrong that is the bad pixel, or the one that's before it that's sending the bad data. So typically the best practice is you're removing one pixel, the bad pixel, and then the one before it as well. So you're going to remove two pixels when you're doing repairs. And then you're going to splice in two new good pixels, and you're going to replace those. And the way that you're going to do that is connecting all of those wires back together again. Now, there's different types of ways to splice. There is the very popular heat shrink tube. So what this amounts to is taking two ends of the wires, pushing them together, twisting them such that the metal strands of the wires are connected, soldering them together, and then, oops, I missed a step describing it. This happens all the time. Before you push the wires together, you put on the heat shrink. So you put on the heat shrink on that wire first. You put the wires together, you add the solder, you heat it up, and make good contact there. Then you push the heat shrink tubing back over your solder joint. Hit it with a heat gun or a lighter or whatever. Even use your soldering iron if you need to heat that up, and then make a nice, clean, closed connection. There's also, that's really a good option for splicing in off-season, because it takes a lot of time. It's much slower, but it's a very clean connection. It's a very good connection, and it's one that's going to have a lot of longevity. If you're in the middle of the season and you need to make repairs out in the field, there is what are called Scotch locks, or basically these are just crimp-on connectors. And what's nice about these, this one that I have here has 3 holes, and it just connects them all together. So you put one wire in from one side, one wire in from the other side. You just take pliers and you just push this down. These ones that I have here have gel in them so that they're waterproof. You push it down, it makes contact, connects the 2 wires, very, very quick and easy. Now, these don't look as good, but typically people can't see this. They're behind a prop anyways, so they're kind of hidden, but very, very fast, very, very easy to use. There is also what's called a solder tube, and what that amounts to is basically eliminates you having to add the solder. It's very much like a heat shrink tube, except that it has a little bead of solder in the middle. And what that allows you to do is put on the tube first, push the wires together, and then when you heat it up, it's going to melt the solder. It has a much lower melting point, and it's going to melt that solder into that joint so you don't have to add it yourself. And then it also has the heat shrink tubing on the edges as well. So just a quick tip for you guys. It is definitely something that is a fundamental. It is something that you have to know, something that you have to learn. If you want to contribute, please reach out to JR or anyone on the Professional Triers team, and they would be happy to bring you on the show. Every Friday, it's going to be someone different. So give them a ring, give them a shout, and look forward to seeing what you guys bring. Take care.